surprisingly, it was Patrick Sniers with the Ford Escort Cosworth who was expected to be the class of the field. He set off at a blinding pace on the stages, but discovered that they were very slippery indeed, and that hampered his progress a little bit on the opening day. Opposition would come, not surprisingly, from the Escort Cosworth, this one driven by Renault Verede. Starting at number 5 was Paul Littier, and he was another driver expected to be a major thorn in the side of Sniers. Littier chose the wrong tyres for one of the stages, and that cost him 18 seconds. Despite this, the car was going well. The familiar shape of a Sierra Cosworth was in the hands of Jean-Marie Millicent. They'd be caught, though, soon into it by the Escort Cosworth, driven by this man, Chris van Wernzel. The left-hand drive Escort was being driven very rapidly indeed, and was rapidly closing on the Sierra and on the Mitsubishi. Further down the Group N contest was Jimmy Olivier. As teammate of Paul Littier, but in a different specification of car, there was a lot of attention surrounding him. Up front, Sniers still led, still coping with the very slippery roads, however. As he tried to pull away from the opposition, he found that Paul Littier was getting ever closer behind him. Despite moments like that. Littier was on intermediate tyres, which he wasn't convinced were the right choice. Covering the roads, and that made things even more slippery for the drivers. Sniers had two problems. The first was how to consolidate that lead. The second was which tyres to put on. He was hoping that things would dry out as the day wore on, but still the roads were very treacherous indeed. He was the first man on them, chased as ever by the crack-back Escort of Paul Littier. Littier was revelling in these conditions and soon closed the gap between himself and Sniers, the leader. Renault Verede was going well in his Escort. He was up into third place and trying to close the gap on the two leaders. Group N was being led by the Sierra of Jean-Marie Millicent, although he was being caught by both the Escort of Chris van Wernzel and Nicolas Mid with the Mitsubishi. The interloper in the Group N battle now, though, was Jimmy Olivier with Cosworth at the head of the field. He was involved, though, in his own little battle with Renault Verede, who was trying to close on second-place man Paul Littier. With Sniers' retirement, Littier it was who came through to take victory here on the Hautes Fagnes rally in Belgium. The Escort Cosworth driver was understandably delighted with his victory and had proved to the world that Patrick Sniers wasn't invincible after all. A look at the result showed victory for Paul Littier, with Renault Verede taking second place and Dominique Brunel's Lancia in third. Freddy Loire took Formula 2 honours in fourth place, Gabi Gudezern was fifth, here on the Hautes Fagnes rally. A delighted Littier sprays the champagne after his triumph. The Ford Escort, the victor's car, and Littier a delighted driver.